and welcome to this year's 31 and 31. I'm John from Just Another Horror Podcast. You can find all our shows on Podbean, this channel, iTunes, all that fun stuff. So, last year when I tried to do 31 and 31, I did the first episode, did all the editing, put it up. I already reviewed that movie, and I immediately gave up because I am lazy. But this year, I have a full calendar. I'm ready to do all 31 of them. Well, I have a new producer named Mesh, and Mesh has developed this schedule in a very specific way and is actually helping me put more things together that are more organized to help me get through it this time. So thank you, Mesh. If you want to see it, it's on our Twitter, it's on our Facebook. Just check it out, get a sneak preview of what's going on. I'm sure you'll see a theme. For the first movie that we're going to review, it's 1931's M, starring Peter Lorre. I don't know who this is. He was in Casablanca, but that's not really the main character in that movie, so whatever. He looks like a kid. Like, his face looks like a kid's face, and his eyeballs are like constantly popping out of his head. It's weird. Okay, so the movie starts out like this. A bunch of kids are missing in Germany. I think they said there's 8 dead kids. And the first thing that we see is a kid making her way home, gets stopped by somebody whistling in the Hall of the Mountain King, which turns out to be the way that the director shows the audience that the killer is around. It's a pretty neat thing for 1931. I mean, nowadays it would be common, but back then this was a new way of using the sound that Fritz Lang had. Fritz Lang, by the way, the director of this movie, also did a movie called Metropolis. Freaking crazy movie. This movie is also crazy, and I'm going to say, I don't know that this movie would go over well in today's world. In fact, even watching it, like, probably back in 1931, it was like, ooh. So this child killer murders his 8th or 9th victim. The police are having a tough time figuring out where this guy is. They start just interrogating the entire town, breaking into bars, breaking into everyone's house, demanding to see papers. A little weird for 1930s Germany, like they had an idea of what was in store for them later. Ooh. Anyway, this pisses off the mob or union? I'm not really sure. Maybe they're the same thing. They're selling illegal watches from what I can tell. It's 1931, man. Anyway, they're pissed off because the police are cutting into their business. So they decide, since the police can't find this guy, that they're gonna go find him. And so the movie kind of cuts back and forth between the police trying to find them, the mob trying to figure out how they're gonna find him. They have this idea that the bums are gonna track them. One of the bums at the beginning of the movie is this blind guy who's selling balloons. And he heard the guy whistling in the Hall of the Mountain King right before the girl was abducted. So he hears the whistling again, he points the bums in the right direction, the bums follow him. One of them writes the letter M on his hand, and that's where we get the name of the movie. Slaps it on the guy's back, and they follow him all around town, eventually kidnap him. My problem with this movie is that it's 2019 right now. This movie was made almost 100 years ago, and my God, is the pacing bad here. Like, really bad. It drags. And you just start to be like, when are we going to get to anything? At one point, one of the people who helps the criminals find the murderer gets captured by the police. So all of the criminals now have the murderer. They're going to put on a kangaroo court of sorts to find him guilty, which they claim that it's, a real court, but it's not. But meanwhile, the police are talking to this one guy because they're like, we know you were doing something. So they coerce him eventually into telling him where this guy is and what's happening. So then we get this court scene where Peter Lorre acts his fucking ass off. He's amazing. And it's not good that he's amazing because he's a child murderer. These people want to kill him. But you're kind of like, I hope the child murderer gets away. Oh boy. This movie is layered as fuck. This is easily the most critically acclaimed movie that I've reviewed for this particular series. Maybe that we've reviewed for the entire show. You look on IMDb, it's like a 9 or a 10. The critic reviews are all 10. Same with Rotten Tomatoes, it's like a 9 or a 10. Because this movie really challenges people. It challenged me because this guy's killing kids. He's killed like 9 of them, but he has a mental illness. So, maybe put him away. But maybe he gets out and kills again. So it's like... Anyway, I'm not going to, give away the ending here. But this is a high, very, very high recommend. It's on YouTube, so just go there, look for the English subtitles, unless you speak German, in which case, how do you know what I'm saying right now? Unless you speak 2 languages, in which case, you're fucking cool. See you tomorrow.